Dino, what do you think gets in the way or stops most of the expat coaches from succeeding more?
Well, I'll say the easy question is resistant. Yeah, the resistant language, right? Yeah, the stories that we tell ourselves. Yeah, and these stories usually come as an experience of what other people say. Yeah, and these stories sometimes get cemented from birth. Yeah, I am to X, this is to Y. Or I've never done it this way before. I think the fundamental thing is the resistant language. I think if we're able to change the internal dialogue, yeah, into a dialogue that focuses on progress and curiosity and being resourceful, we'll be surprised what we'll be able to create.
Hi there, welcome to the replay of our after hours discussions with professional coaches. Your exclusive complimentary Sunday session for all of our community around the world, where coaching minds unite with our people to create real world results. I am Adrian Cahill, your host and founder of the Motivate community, and more recently, Monday Morning Motivation. As a global trainer in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, coaching, and hypnosis, this weekly gathering brings some of my colleagues from trainings, my fellow students and coaches all together in one place where we can discuss, share, help change the world by delivering free, quality information that's here to help you transform.
As we warm up, we will slowly get into the session. I'm stoked tonight, and I said to Dino beforehand, I wasn't quite sure if I'm going to 100% be attending as a student or relaxing for a Sunday. Out of all the coaches that have done NLP training, Dino is one of the few that came back and did it again. And this is an incredibly powerful thing, because we talk about NLP, we say it's good. There's so much power in it, but particularly in the basics. It's the very basics, is having a really strong foundation. So when Dino did it a couple of times, I know exactly what he was doing. He was building a damn strong foundation. And he's been one of the highest achieving, or I guess highest successful coaches, expatriate coaches in China, as far as I'm concerned. And I've seen and spoken to just about every bloody coach in China. So Dino is without a doubt one of the top performers of the whole bloody lot. And one reason I think it is because of one of his abilities to take action and go. But he doesn't just take action, he stops and meditates. If someone says something crazy to him, like cold showers before bed, he's the kind of guy that'll try it and he'll let you know. And if it does work, he's probably going to keep doing it more and more and more. So I love learning from Dino because he gets so much from different areas and brings them together. Not just that, coaching is a fantastic industry. Coaching is mind-boggling awesome, yet so few succeed in it, not to mention becoming a full-time coach. And I've spoken to, when we've had coaches here, we had a neuroscientist here that didn't make it. And sometimes amazing coaches don't make it. But this is one who has made it. And not just that, if he's in China, he is him, but he's still going forward and kicking goals in China no matter what. And, are you engaged or married now?
Engaged.
Engaged, got a cross-cultural relationship, and it's working. So he does the hard yards. He knows what works. It's a great pleasure to have Dino here tonight, or Professor Daddy Joy. If you know of coaches that have done some training and they're not quite getting the results, or coaches that have done a little training, or maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 courses and haven't got the result, grab a hand of this man and work with him. I think anyone that's got the basic coach training, they do a few months with Dino, they will have clients and they will be on their way creating their business with joy. And he probably knows a bunch more about creating a coaching business than I do. So I'm very glad to have you here, Deano. And I can see in the chat, we just got someone backing it up in the chat too. So it's not just me who says this. Well done on your success, Deano. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. A lot of credits to you as well. You know, one thing that is always important is having mentors like yourself in your corner. And now I have an action-packed session for you guys today. And I'm here to shift your soul, not just your mindset. Now, the name of this session is the escape plan. Build a profitable soul-aligned business without needing extensive additional trading or a complete overhaul. Now, some of you have been living a life that your soul never agreed to. Ooh. Having some tech fun on my side. Okay, we should be back. Now, as I said, some of you have been living a life that your soul has never agreed to. And tonight, that ends. Now, before we go any further, I want you to take a breath with me. Now, not a polite type of breath, not the Zoom meeting type of breath. I mean the type of breath that reminds you that you are still alive. So I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale. Yeah, that's right. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for honoring yourself by being here. Because whether you're here out of curiosity, frustration, or a whisper inside of you that says, now your soul has brought you to this very moment on purpose. So let's make an agreement. If you're here, be here. Yeah, turn your cameras on if you can. Yeah, because presence is a decision. And I want you to type, I'm here in the chat if you're choosing to be fully present for the next hour of this training. I see you, Sophia. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Now, I want to speak to the part of you that is tired of pretending that everything is okay. Tired of being strong for everyone else. Tired of shrinking your brilliance to fit a job description. Tired of giving 200% and being handed scraps of appreciation in return. Now, if that one land home for you, I want you to type in the chat, that's me. Because the truth is, honesty is the beginning of liberation. And I'm here to call you to be honest with yourself today. And not honest for me, but honest with a part of you that know what's true for you. Now, I want to take you back to a time in my life when everything changed for me. And this was back in 2010. You know, I was an IT teacher at the time, and I love the work that I do. I love to see the shift in my students, but I couldn't say the same about my pay. Yet I remember this one day I was standing there and I was staring at my pay slip, and I saw my colleague Cameron coming towards me in the hall, and Cameron was a very skinny guy. So when he walked, you can see his hips moving from left to right. And he approached me and he's like, Deano boy, they're thinking about getting rid of you. Now, in that moment, I was working from 8 to 9 p.m. every day nonstop. And I was pouring not just my time, but my heart, my creativity, and my life force into the work that I do. But I felt insulted. Yeah, I felt insulted. And it wasn't about the numbers on the paper, and it wasn't about what Cameron said, but I felt insulted by how small the system valued me. And it wasn't about the money, because I love the work that I did. Yeah, I felt like it was an honor to serve. Yeah. But it was a realization that my soul was paying a price my salary could have never refunded. And I felt the resistance, not just from my students, not from my colleagues, not from the parents. I felt the resistance from a system that benefits from you staying exhausted, obedient, and underpaid. Because a tired educator doesn't have the energy to dream. And let me say that again. Yeah, a tired educator does not have the energy to dream. And if you have ever felt that gut punch realization that, is this what my life is going to be moment? I want you to put, I felt that in the chat. Yeah, be honest with yourself. If you have felt that, put I felt that in the chat. Yeah, that's right. I see you. I see you. And here's what most people don't know about educators. Yeah, and there's two fundamental things. You don't burn out because you don't care. You burn out because you care too much in a place that don't know how to hold you. Yeah, you're not exhausted because you're weak. You're exhausted because you're carrying the weight of a system that was never designed for your genius. And yet you keep on showing up, you keep on giving, you keep on sacrificing. But at what cost? At what cost? And somewhere along the way, we were trained and conditioned to believe these 5 things. Yeah, and I know these will ring true for you because I hear them from my clients every day. The first is be grateful for what you have. Yeah, play it safe. Don't ask for too much. Impact matter more than income. But I'm here to tell you today, my friends, impact with income is allowed. Purpose with prosperity is allowed. Service without sacrifice is allowed. And if any of those old beliefs are still living rent-free in your mind, type releasing it in the chat. Because my mission here tonight is to help you release these resistant language. Yeah, my mission here tonight is to call you to a new level of leadership. Yeah, so type release it in the chat. I see you. I see you. We're playing. Now, I want you to hear this from me heart to heart. Yeah, and I want you to write this down. There is nothing wrong with you wanting more. There is nothing wrong with you wanting more. Your desire for freedom, wealth, spaciousness, and impact beyond your job, it is not selfish. It's sacred. Yeah? And you don't need permission to expand, my friends. You need alignment to expand. You don't need permission to expand. You need alignment to expand. And here's the truth. You can't become a soul-aligned CEO if you're still clinging to an identity of an exhausted educator. You can't become the CEO of your purpose if you're still clinging to an identity of an exhausted coach. You can't step into leadership if you're still asking the system for validation. You can't build a life of purpose if you're staying loyal to an environment that shrinks your soul. And I want you to hear that. Hear me when I say this. And if you're feeling this truth in your body, I want you to say, I receive that. Don't just think it. I want you to say it as you're listening to the sound of my voice. Yeah, I want you to say, I receive that. Because today we're speaking truth. Now, the moment that everything changed for me was when I made my first dollar outside of my job. And this was back in 2010. Yeah, I was still living at my parents' house. Yeah, and I was on the island at that time. This was back in 2020, sorry, which is an entire decade after I had that first internal shift. And now I was coaching for free, and I was passionate about what I was doing. But the truth is, at that rate, it wasn't sustainable. Yeah, the sad part about this reality is that I couldn't even afford transportation to the capital. Yeah, I couldn't even take my girlfriend on a date. Because knowing you want to coach, that's one thing. But building a business that pays well, that's a completely different story. And I was exhausted. I was tired. Yeah, but I thought to myself, there must be a better way. Yeah, there must be a better way. And that's when I run into my coach, Sean Quintero, and his one client with challenge. And he shared a heart-centered sales approach with me that completely shift my perspective. It completely shift the way I think about asking for money. And suddenly asking for money felt natural and it felt playful. It felt like I was coming from a place of service, not a place of need. Yeah, and my clients felt happy investing in my work. And I confidently raised my fees to $997 that year. And the thing is, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the money because I've been doing it for free for so long. But in that moment, it was the realization that I wasn't just a coach. I wasn't just an educator. I was a creator. I was an entrepreneur. I was becoming a CEO of my purpose. And once your soul tastes freedom, my friends, it becomes almost impossible to go back to shrinking. Yeah, once you feel that liberating feeling that you are in control of your destiny, it becomes liberating, it becomes addictive. And if you know that there's a version of you that's done with shrinking, I want you to type no more shrinking in the chat. Yeah, if you really know there's a version of you that is done with shrinking, type no more shrinking in the chat. I see you. I see you. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Now that you have named the part of you that refused to shrink, now let's talk about what expanding actually look like for an educator who's ready to step into their next chapter. Because the truth is, desire without direction leads to delay. I'm gonna say that again, and I want you to write that down. Desire without direction leads to delay. Because you're here for alignment, activation, and ascension. Yes, yes? Yeah? You're not just here for inspiration. Okay? And what I want to share with you today, I'm going to share with you the Soul Aligned CEO pathway. The same pathway that has helped educators from different countries and backgrounds step into their coaching business with alignment that pays them what they're worth. But this is not theory, not fluff, not follow your passion and hope the universe work out, but a real path that works without the burnout, without quitting your job recklessly, without the fake hype, without selling your soul or your ethics. And if you're ready for the path, type show me the path in the chat. Because I'm going to give you the goods. Let's get it. Let's get it. Now, there are 3 shifts that you would need to make to become a Soul Aligned CEO. Okay, there's 3 shifts that every educator and coach must make to become a Soul Aligned CEO. Not 10, not 27, just 3. And when these 3 align, your income, your impact, and your identity elevates. Okay? And here's the first shift. Alignment. Yeah, you will need to shift your identity from just being an educator to being a leader. Yeah, you need to shift from being an educator to being a leader. Because the classroom taught you how to teach, but your calling is asking you to lead. As I said, I'm calling you to a new level of leadership. Yeah, this is your birthright. Yeah. And as a Soul Aligned CEO, yeah, you're not waiting for permission. You're embodying your purpose. You're accepting the truth of who you are called to be. And this shift happened the moment you stop asking, am I qualified? And start declaring, I am called. Because the reason why you're here today, the reason why you're doing the work today, because you have been called to this mission. There's something inside of you that has been itching away since you were 10, 12, 8, 14, that this was the work that you were called to do. Yeah, so you're not here to ask whether you're qualified. Yeah? You're declaring that you were called. And if this hits, type I'm called in the chat. Awesome. I see you. I see you, Tom. I see you, James. I see you. Yes, sir. I see you, Jay. Awesome. Now, let me share with you a quick case study about one of my clients, Nadine. Now, Nadine went from being just a teacher to a writing coach. Now, Nadine thinks she needed more qualification before she can call herself a coach. Yeah, she had the passion, she had the wisdom, and she have already written her first book, yeah, when we start working together. But conditioned humility whispered to her, not yet. And we worked together to activate her identity as a leader, not just a teacher. And the results, yeah, Nadine became a second publishing author. And today she is a writing coach and she serves her clients confidently because she claimed her calling. Yeah, I remember that very moment, that very session when everything shift for her. Yeah, and this was her exact words. She didn't said, I can do it. She said, I am it. Yeah, and that is identity level transformation. And when your identity shifts, yeah, as practitioners, when your identity shifts, your beliefs, your behavior, your skills, and your habits follows. Yeah, that's the power of shift in your identity. Now that's key number one. Now, key number two. This is clarity of your value and who you serve. Now, no, I'm not talking about the generic, know your niche kind of clarity. Yeah, what I'm talking about, what makes your voice, your story, and your gift, your life experience the medicine for a specific group of people. Let me say that again, and I want you to write this down because this is a powerful question for you. What makes your voice, your story, your gift, and your life experience the medicine for a specific group of people? Because when alignment meets clarity, clients find you. You don't need a massive audience. You don't need a 1,000, 1,000,000 followers on social media. All you need is resonance. What you need is alignment. You need the right people to hear the right message at the right energetic frequency. And I want you to say this aloud. My voice is valuable. I even type it in the chat. Yeah, my voice is valuable. I often say to my clients that you already have everything that you need to succeed. And my job here is just to remind you. Yeah, the name of the game is remembrance. Yeah, not more tools, not more gadgets, not more know-how. Yes, remembrance. So I want you to claim this today. My voice is valuable. Yes, Eshalita. Yes, James. Yes, Summer, Sophia, Nan. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Now, I want to share with you a quick case study about Nan, and Nan is right here with us today. Yeah, Nan shift from being just a teacher to a writing coach, a creative writing coach at that. Now, Nan didn't just try to coach everyone. He aligned his zone of genius, which is writing and creative expression, and he became a creative writing coach. Now, immediately when we start working together, Nan had a full-time job, and he was able to negotiate working 4 days per week on his full-time job, so he had that space for his passion. Last year, Nan landed his highest paying clients. And this year, Nan is living that life of freedom. Yes, serving clients on his own term. Alignment creates acceleration. Alignment creates acceleration. Now, key number 3. Building a business model that funds your life, not just training. There is no freedom in leaving the classroom or leaving your job only to build a job for yourself. The truth is, you're not transitioning to become a busy coach. You're transitioning to become a soul-aligned CEO. So what this means? This means you want to design a coaching business that matches your value, your desired lifestyle, your family needs, your energy cycle, and your purpose. You want to design a business model around your lifestyle, not the other way around. Because business should feel like devotion, not depletion. And I want you to type this in the chat. My business would serve my life, not consume it. Yeah, because business should feel like devotion, not depletion. My business should serve my life, not deplete it. Now, let me share with you another interesting case study. Now, this is another one of my clients, Tej. And Tej went from coaching to free to living to fully funding his lifestyle. And this is a picture he shared with me on one of his trips to India. And last year, he traveled across Europe with his family. Now, Tej was doing free session, and he felt lost and he had no strategy. Now, once Tej aligned his offer and implemented a simple structure, clients start paying him because not only his energy shift, but he started owning his value. And when your business is built on alignment, it becomes inevitable. I'll say that again. When your business is built on alignment, it becomes inevitable. Now, these are the 3 keys for you to become a soul-aligned CEO. The first one is shifting of your identity from being just an educator or being just a coach to being a leader. The second is clarity, clarity of your value and clarity of who you're called to serve. And the third is an aligned business model, one that is designed to fuel your lifestyle. These 3 shifts are the bridge from educator to soul-aligned CEO. And now that you've seen the part, my friends, yeah, you can't pretend you don't see it. Now, this time, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for a moment if that feels safe to do so. And I want you to place your hand on your heart. And I want you to imagine the version of you that has made these 3 shifts. See what you see. Feel what you feel. Listen to their posture, their energy, their peace. Now breathe into that version of you. Yeah, that's right. The one who leads, not follows. The one who creates, not with. The one who is a trusted, paid, and respected for their genius, not their compliance. Deep breath in. Release. Yeah, that's right. And open your eyes. Because I'm going to guide you into an identity upgrade. And if you're ready to step in, yeah, to that new level, yeah, this is how we're going to play. Now, we're about to lock in your new identity. But first, you need to speak it aloud. Because identity expands faster when it's witnessed. So you're going to be going into some breakout rooms. Yeah, and this is how this is going to be. And I'm going to give you a few minutes. You're going to have 1 to 2 minutes. And you're going to have one other person with you. And I want you to complete this sentence. The version of me I'm stepping into is someone who no longer tolerates, right? What is it you're letting go of? And choosing, right? What are you stepping into? What are you choosing? Here's an example. I no longer tolerate shrinking to be accepted. I choose to lead with purpose. Yeah, that's an example. But you'll fill in, yeah, whatever is true for you. Yeah, so you'll share with each other. Each person should take about 45 seconds. And this is the key piece, right? There should be no coaching, no advice given, just witness each other's truth. As I said in the beginning, presence is a decision. Yeah, just witness each other's truth. And when you return, I'll be guiding each of you through an identity upgrade ceremony. Okay? Okay, welcome back, guys. Now, I want you to let me know what is one word. Yeah, one word that represents that shift that you are ready to make. Yeah, one word. You can put it in the chat. If you want, you can turn your mic on and you can vocalize it. What is one word that captures? Yeah, what you love to speak into your future self. I see Mark says progress. Beautiful. Freedom. Awesome. Authenticity. Brilliant, James. Freedom like time. Yeah, Sophia, belief. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Now, you guys have already completed 80% of the work. Now, let's see what your soul already says yes to. Now, I want you to put your hand on your heart. I hope I'm not covering my mic. Just put your hand on your heart. And if you're ready, if you can stand up with me, yeah, even if you're at home. Because identity is anchored in your body, not in your mind. And I want you to take a deep breath in as the old you. Inhale. Release. Now take one breath as a version of you who's stepping forward today. Inhale. And release. Yeah, that's right. And I want you to repeat after me aloud. I am a soul-aligned CEO who create impact beyond the classroom, beyond my job, and income beyond my salary. Again, with conviction, I am a soul-aligned CEO who creates income beyond my job and income beyond my salary. Feel that ripple through your entire body. Beautiful. Now you can sit back down, but sit as the version of you who have just claimed it. Yeah, the one who have just entered this room. Not as the one who have entered this room, sorry. Yeah, but the one who have just claimed it. Now this right here, this is your new normal. Make this your new baseline. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Now, yawn is usually a sign of integration. Yeah, those of you who have been in this space for a while, yeah, there's a few ways our body integrate new identities. You can see it through a yawn. For some of us is a tear. Welcome. Now let's keep this party going.
Deano, what do you think gets in the way or stops most of the expat coaches from succeeding more?
Well, I'll say the easy question is resistant. Yeah, the resistant language, right? Yeah, the stories that we tell ourselves. Yeah, and these stories usually come as an experience of what other people say. Yeah, and these stories sometimes get cemented from birth. Yeah, I am to X, this is to Y. Or I've never done it this way before. I think the fundamental thing is the resistant language. I think if we're able to change the internal dialogue, yeah, into a dialogue that focuses on progress and curiosity and being resourceful, we'll be surprised what we'll be able to create. Now, this may seem a bit mumbo jumbo and woo to some people, but that's the truth.
Yeah, you mentioned resourcefulness then, or being resourceful. So being resourceful would be a very high, a useful characteristic for success, being resourceful. And we've all got areas of our life where we can be resourceful.
Definitely. I think maybe I say I think over the last 6 months, I myself personally have been in an unresourceful state. And I did some work with a coach, and one of the most powerful practice was reconnected to my standards of integrity. And these are simpler things that is true for me. It's not affirmation of me saying, oh, I want to be more this. No, it's things that is already true for myself, right? I'm authentic, creative, I'm kind, I'm compassionate, I'm charismatic. And we forget who we are fundamentally. Like that episode in The Lion King, when Simba was hanging out with the hedgehog and the toad eating worms, and then Nyla found him and then was confused. What is this lion doing here eating worms? And then Rafiki came and had to hit him over his head and tell him, what are you doing? And then he saw Simba in the cloud, and Simba was like, remember who you are. Remember who you are. And in that moment, he was like, my gosh, I'm a lion, I'm a king. What am I doing? I got to go back and take back my kingdom. And I think that's a perfect metaphor for the arc that a lot of us as human beings are on. Somewhere along our journey, something scared us. Yes, and as the Musafa, right? We all have our Musafa. And then we forgot, yeah, because then we start living in this new environment that we conform to, that we think is our normal. And we don't realize there's even more for us that we're giving ourselves credit for. And sometimes we need a Rafiki to come and hit you over your head. And hopefully I was, the archetype of that character here tonight for some of you.
Yeah, then archetypes and then loops of time and bigger patterns of time. Rafiki.
Yeah, and I see you having a session on archetype coming up next week, aren't you?
Just had it, but I'm thinking soon we'll do archetypes for animals. But with animals, it's much more complex.
Yeah.
But I'm actually really looking forward to doing animals. Like it's a whole new dimension.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live, free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.